Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having a fabulous day. 3 marks on his barrel, driving the KV2. Guys, you can't swim upstream. You can't be a salmon all your life. You can't fight the current. If salmon, when they swim upstream, when they struggle and they go all the way up and their task is complete, they die, right? You don't want to be a salmon. You got to go with the flow. Every now and then we must watch Russian tank. And it's Gziek 97 from the Hussa clan. Hussa. I think that's the name of your clan. I don't know how to say this guy's name. What's it? Gziek? Let's call him Gurgi. It's Gurgi in his KB2. And he immediately does what a lot of KV2 drivers do these days. He's top tier. And KV2 used to be about, shooting HE and laughing because you do lots of damage. But WarGaming nerfed HE, and a lot of you enjoy that it's been nerfed, and a lot of you are upset that it's nerfed because it's changed the gameplay on a lot of your favorite tanks that used to be like the derp gun tanks that shot HE. And this is what a lot of players do now, and I think this is WarGaming's intent. They've succeeded in achieving this result. There's a lot of players, they don't shoot the HE anymore because you get trolled. Sometimes you roll 0. If you take a shot and that shot deviates and hits a portion of the enemy tank that is, there's no armor behind the trajectory of the shell. Like you hit a track wheel and the trajectory of the shell would not have intersected armor. There's no more explosion in HE. So you roll 0. So you get trolled a lot because, inaccurate derp guns, sometimes they don't hit what you're aiming at, and you don't want to roll 0. So what do people do now? As he's staring at his teammates, I don't know what you're doing there, buddy, but he's immediately pressed this button, which switches to armor piercing, which is 136 damage, or 136 penetration. It still does a lot of damage. It's 136 penetration, 700 damage, plus fire. Now, if he shot an HE shell at the side of the KB2 that he just hit, if it penetrated, he would have done, 900 plus or minus 25%. He could have one-shot him. But if the shell just deviated down a bit and hit kind of the lower part of the tracks and the trajectory did not intersect the hull, he would have rolled 0. So there's just, it's too much mind-boggling RNG that just, it's too much to endure. So players do this, they load the AP and they carefully aim, and they do that. Now you might say, well, of course, that makes sense, and it's fine. It's a legitimate strategy and switch in tactics for the KV2. Right? It's more consistent this way, especially if you're top tier and you're going to penetrate the lower tier tanks. It's kind of counterintuitive. When you're playing bottom tier and you're shooting higher tier tanks, you could bounce these shots and do 0. Okay? He's side scraping beautifully here, and can he just snap it? He doesn't want to snap it. This guy knows what he's doing. He's side scraping so he's not going to get hurt, and now he's going to make this T1 heavy pay for his stupidity. Patrijdoi, right? The Stug is just in the way. So it's a legitimate strategy. This is, I've seen a lot of the games of the higher damage games in the KV2 now are people shooting this ammunition. And you pulled up before you were loaded. I do that sometimes too. He misjudged there. But, the Muppet comes back. The Muppet came. Oh, see, he rolled 0. Because it didn't penetrate. So what I was going to say is, when you're bottom tier, this strategy makes sense because you do penetrate most of your shots. 136 is good enough to go through almost all tier 5s, certainly tier 4s, and many tier 6s. Goodbye. Right? So it's a great strategy, and 700 alpha at this tier is still fantastic. But now when you're bottom tier, when you're fighting tier 7s and 8s, this AP will troll you. You'll bounce a lot versus the heavily armored tier 8s. Then you resort back to HE, where if you hit, at least you'll do some damage. then you have the regular KB2 back, and then you get trolled when you don't hit armor. So KV2 has been, I can't believe I'm saying this, it is not as good as it used to be. It's been, and it's true. They tweak a little bit, but it's not as good. It's more of an RNG troll cannon. But what WarGaming has succeeded in doing, and of course, Matchmaker is the big compensation, and this is what's happened. And I'll explain it to you, and you guys can leave in the comments, whether it's a conspiracy theory or whether you don't believe it or whatever. But the Matchmaker always tries to balance out the results, and the KV2 now has a lot more trouble competing in Tier 7 and 8 games. It just does because of the HE nerf. So I've played my KV2 now, and I get many games where I'm a close or top tier. I will be matchmaking like this, or matchmaking where you're fighting just Tier 7s, 6 and 7s, which is doable. A lot less Tier 8 action in the KV2. And that's just take a shot. There you go. Yes, pravice. Beautiful. That's what happens, okay? And so we tweak a little bit. They tweak a little bit the matchmaking, and so now KV2 is still enjoyable because of that fact. And try it. Play your KV2 if you haven't taken it out, and you will get in Tier 6 and 7 games, mainly, not Tier 8. Long story short, Klaus, what are you getting at with it? I'm just doing commentary, so because unless you just want to watch the game without me talking, there is that. But if you want to listen to my thoughts, this guy raised his pee-pee and gave up, I think. I think the overall intent has succeeded, and the overall intent is that now people play the KV2 mainly with AP shells. It's still a fun tank to play, and it's still statistically, hasn't changed much on the win rate, and the total damage done has dropped up just a little bit. And the main difference is that AP shells cost more than HE shells. So now it's more expensive to have fun in your KV2. That's what WarGaming has successfully achieved, is that people will figure out how to make it work, and he's going to make it work if that guy goes by. People have figured it out, and the KV2 now, rather than just shoot HE and make 100,000 credits or 60,000 credits in a battle, because HE was the cheapest shell, almost free to shoot HE. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. It was almost free to shoot HE, and you can make a big profit. Well, now people shoot AP, and the shell is more expensive, so it costs more to achieve good results. And WarGaming's players are happy because they figured out how to make the KV2 work. WarGaming's happy because they drain more credits from your account for playing the KV2, which is one of the most played Tier 6 tanks. And KV2 is going to say hello to little bug. Little bug drove in front of tank. Little bug is now squished. And yeah, and can you stop that? Like, holy shit, you're giving me a headache with the zoom in, zoom out, moving around. Holy shit, man. The marks on his barrel disappeared. Look, you see he's a Unicom? Muppet. Unicom? He's a Unicom now. Did you see that? Oh, he's a Muppet now. Oh, he's a Unicom again. Oh, he's a Muppet. He's a Unicom. Are you watching the marks on his barrel? He's fluctuating between Muppet, Unicom, Muppet, Unicom. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful. We tweak a little bit. So yeah, that's what I was trying to get across. Is now KV2 is just more expensive to operate. So Papa Tanya, get off. We make lots more. We drain more credits from your account. You play KV2, and then you stupid cheap bastard, go buy Tier 8 premium tank. That's how you make credits, not with fun KV2. No more fun for you. And that's it. So let's enjoy. He's up at 4,115. He's losing. The score is 10-13. Now we can enjoy I made my point. right? I made my point. Now we can enjoy his miraculous gaming ability. He's got a boogie with him. He hasn't left from this spot. This is a powerful spot on this map. The artillery, the P stands for propelled. He propelled himself in front of a KV-2 gun, which is not the best strategy. When I say P stands for propelled in SPGs, I'm not suggesting that you propel yourself in front of the enemy's gun. Okay, that's a lot of people mistake that. Propel yourself somewhere safe. Create different angles. Try not to propel yourself in front of enemy guns. You're doing it again. You're making everyone dizzy. This is a very powerful location on the map, right? You've got cover from the door from that side. You've got cover over here. You can shoot people. If they come down there, you can shoot through this little gap. It's probably the best position on the map. They have to come in here to get you. They can't artillery you. You know, that artillery was probably pissed off thinking, can't hit that guy. I'll propel myself in front of him and see what happens. So it's a very good location. We've learned something about this map. Rather than driving around aimlessly, you can go to a powerful position and just enjoy your game there, and the enemies have to come and dig you out. Oh, he spotted a grenade. Spotted a grenade. Oh. Another SPG that propelled himself. And what are you worried about? He's being very cautious. He's going to go kill the SPG. He can even absorb an SPG hit, but he doesn't want to. And that SPG could have gone away. Because he's propelled himself all the way there. It's certainly... The boogie just saved the game for you. Now you're... Oh, there's the... And he has hit you. Somehow. And somehow he snapperooed you. And you didn't fully aim, buddy. I think you pressed the trigger while you were stunned. But the boogie's gonna save the day. Boogie woogie. Would you stop turning your turret around? Like, just go shoot the artillery. You reload. He's not gonna kill you. This guy has 3 marks on his barrel. You know why? Because he's a super cautious player and he never gives up his HP. Giving up your HP is the numero uno way of not being a good player. If you're worried about your stats, you do not give out your HP. You just don't. He's worried if he comes here, maybe that Chaffee is somewhere up here. Look at the minimap. Could probably shoot him, you know, from afar, and then he's dead. But let's do this. Boom. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and now he's going, oh, where's the Chaffee? Very good, very good. You know where the Chaffee is, probably, guys? Probably sitting over here, AFK. Let's see. Go get him, Tiger. Go get him. Just sat in the most powerful part of this map, which is this little cubby spot right here. Just, you know, protected from everywhere. Protected from artillery, protected from every angle. Able to defend from any angle. If you're in a heavy tank, go to that spot. Fiddle around in that spot. Let the enemies make the mistakes. You know, unless your team is winning and steamrolling them, then you'll do 0. So there's always that, right? When I point some of these things out, you know, I'm not saying you should just go to that spot and never move. So if you go to that spot and you notice that the enemies are not making themselves targets, and your team is winning the south or something, you look at the score and you're up 5,000 HP in the first 45 seconds because WarGaming has designed the matchmaker to ensure that you will win that game in 2 minutes, then you probably shouldn't stay there, right? You should probably say, thank you, WarGaming. You've made sure the matchmaker has selected this team so that we'll win in 2.5 minutes because you'd like the games to be over quickly. And I will now surge forward and get some damage before the game's over. Thank you. My win rate has gone up. You should be happy. And now he's in the cap and oh, look at this. Boom. He was passive spotting. The Chaffee was passive spotting, guys. And this is what you do, getting back to the point of the video, is shooting AP on the KV-2. 5,295 damage, 9 kills. Impressive result, but watch this, you know, WarGaming, cha-ching, without a premium account, minus almost 50,000 credits. And that's exactly what they wanted, right? Because if he shot HE, he might have achieved actually a very similar result. If he shot HE, this would be plus 30,000. No credits for you. Let's watch Avis73 from the Junto clan in his T78, playing with purple equipment on a tier 2 map, and continue our discussion. So, basically, the moral of the story is, WarGaming wants you to spend credits, and they don't want you to have fun cheaply. They want it to cost you in-game currency, so that you'll have to buy premium tanks to supplement your income. And I think that's what the reason of the HE nerf was, especially how it affects a lot of the low tier, the tier 4, tier 5, tier 6 HE derpers, like goodbye M4 Sherman derp gun. You're gonna have to shoot heat now. You want to have a good game in your M4 Sherman, it's going to cost you 40,000 credits. You used to be able to have fun games, shooting HE in the Sherman. I remember that was fun. Lots of tanks are like that. Leave some comments in the comment section. I think that was the desired effect. From a business point of view, guys. This is a mature channel. This is not a baby channel. We're adults here, right? We're men, we're not babies. So we can discuss this stuff. It's just simply marketing and strategy, and manipulating some computer program attributes to achieve the desired result. And the desired result was they can shoot the more expensive ammo and have fun, and it'll cost them a lot of credits, and that'll make them more likely to have to buy premium tanks so that they can earn credits to continue playing the game. And that's what they wanted to do, and that's what they achieved. And it's been a while since the HE nerf. It's been quite some time, and I think now the effect is. At first, it was people complaining, my KV2 trolls me now, and I can't play my M4 Sherman, and not playing certain tanks and switching it. The short term was a little bit of pain and complaining, and some heavy tank tier 10 reward tank players saying, "Oh, thank God they nerfed HE now that 65 TP can't shoot HE at my turret and do 300 damage." There was all that, but now it's been a while, and people have adapted, and things have calmed down, and now you see people are still playing the M4 Sherman, and they're still playing the KV2, but now they've just adapted to the circumstances. And when you get the great games, and I get the games from you guys, or you search the top results, you'll see that the best results in the KV2 are shooting AP. The best results for the M4 Sherman are shooting heat. You don't see fantastic games in the KV13 shooting HE anymore, right? Which was a hilarious game sometimes. KV13 shooting HE. Well, now the best games are it shooting premium ammo. And it's just players have adapted, and they want to be competitive. It just the overall effect is it costs more credits. The earning power. And the economic part of the game has become more expensive for your in-game currency or credits, right? Look at this guy. I mean, he's got full APCR, right? Because if he shoots the regular stuff, he's got 160 pen. And is he going to pen that OI with 160 pen? No. And this guy's so serious about the game that he probably thinks, well, if I load any of that stuff, if I pull out and there's an OI and I shoot and I bounce, and then I try again and I shoot and I bounce, and then I have to switch to APCR. Well, there's 2 shots I wasted. And some people they want to be so competitive in the game that bouncing 2 shots is out of the question. Because the meta now is you got to win in a minute or 2 minutes. If you don't win in a minute, you're probably going to lose. And if you think about that, guys, that's maybe the topic for another video. It's gotten so skewed towards shooting the expensive ammo now that if you think about the beginning of the game, the beginning of almost every game in World of Tanks, the maps are designed to have some choke point or some place where you go and fight. And the good aggressive players know this, and they rush to the initial positions where they can get some cheeky damage, or you know what I'm saying? They don't camp at the back. They go to some initial positions where they can get some shots or the important choke points. And imagine that both teams do this, and there's 3 or 4 good players on each team that get to the initial positions. Well, then the battle starts. These initial players encounter each other, and then there's the initial flurry of shooting, right? So if one team, the 3 or 4 initial players that go to the important positions, shoot regular ammo, and those 3 or 4 players in the first 45 seconds take 10 shots, and they bounce 10 shots, okay? Then the other team, they shoot premium ammo, and those initial players take 10 shots, and they pen 10 shots. At tier 10, the average alpha is like 400. They pen those 10 shots, that's 4,000 damage. The other team bounces those 10 shots, that's 0 damage. You know, in the first 45 seconds, in the first flurry of exchange, and this happens so many times now in World of Tanks, the game starts, people move to the initial positions. Sometimes you're in a slow tank, you're in a tortoise, and you're just moving to your first spot. It takes you a little longer to get there. You finally get there, you know, to that rock or that bush you wanted to go to. You look up, and you're either winning or losing by 3,000-4,000 HP. And a lot of that is the result of the first initial flurry of shooting each other. You know, the first guy spotted, you know, the boom, 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 boom. And RNG, RNG on your penetration rolls, or by fluke, one team has 2 or 3 serious players that are pumping out premium ammo, and the other team has 2 or 3 players that they're not shooting premium ammo, and the game's over. 45 seconds in, it's a pretty okay. It's done. You know, it's an unsurmountable. Sometimes there's a comeback. You know, we watch the replays of when there's a good comeback. That, you know, it's exciting. But most of the time, not this game. I've selected a couple of games here that, you know, for viewing pleasure. Also, I couldn't have talked this long if I selected the typical game that lasts 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You know, that's only 8 minutes. If I show 2 games, that's only 8 minutes. I can't just talk for 8 minutes. Look, you guys know me, right? Once I start talking, I'm going for 15, 20 minutes. So I've got to choose longer games. That's why I'm showing you longer games. But what the point of my rambling today is that I think WarGaming's achieved the result they want. More people are shooting premium ammo to be competitive. And one of maybe the undesired effects that maybe they didn't factor into it is that because of this, typically the games are over faster. And you can also think of it as just math, that if more people are shooting premium ammo, and premium ammo pens more often than not, you know, bounces less, that means everyone's doing damage faster because there's less bouncing, right? Higher pen, more chance of doing the damage, therefore, you know, because of less bouncing. So you're doing the damage faster. So if we're doing the damage faster, the HP is going down faster. Ipso facto, the game's over faster. It's just math, right? You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You know, even Elon Musk would understand this. Oh, wait a minute. He is a rocket scientist. Actually, he's just a promoter, isn't he? He hired rocket scientists. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think of the little discussion we had today. Your thoughts, your opinions. Huh? And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to help the channel grow. I would appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Look at that! The Russian math says he made credits, even spamming APCR like motherfucker. Well, we do math. 81,000 plus 36,000 equals 159. Subtract 134 is plus 24. He had battle payments turned on. Well done.